What's up and welcome back to Becoming Untouchable. This series is literally dedicated to getting into your goddess or God flow, channeling your higher self. If you see me looking to my right, I'm reading from my iPad because I have my script. I love to have some notes. Let's get into it. It's funny because people can see when you go to the gym, they can see the physical changes when you're growing and working on yourself, but our internal health is just as important as our external health. So we got to prioritize it, and I'm here to help you. Are you with me or what?
I hope I'm not too late.
So to be honest, on this topic alone, I feel like I've gotten my PhD, but I'm not going to share too many examples or anything like that because honestly, I don't want to scare you, and I want you to have courage and go into new situations with new eyes, fresh eyes, not being like, oh my gosh, this happened, I cannot have friends, like nobody's rooting good for me. Like, no. I want you guys to still have faith in humanity because there are good people out there. If your higher self is kind, assertive, and confident, you're in the right place. Let's get down to business. I just want to remind you guys that you have everything you need. There is nothing that you need outside of yourself to become the highest version of you, and I stand on that. But let's get into the difference between enemies and hidden enemies. If it isn't obvious, clearly they're hiding. But why? So the difference is that between regular enemies and hidden enemies is that they don't have the courage to actually show themselves. They literally wait to be revealed or eventually are exposed because what's done in the dark will always come to light. You feel me? They are your lesson and reflection of any lack that lives within you, be it a lot or a little. We just have to acknowledge it and accept it and weed it out and move forward. Some may be passive and petty, silent and sly, while others will be sarcastic with a low-key superiority complex. All in all, these people want something that you have. So you should be proud of yourself, first and foremost. These people want something that you have, tangible or intangible, but they won't let go because they don't believe that they can have it, at least in an honest way. And by you already having it,
it's giving boss. Never ever play me like I'm average.
In an honest way, you're winning. You're winning at life. Just know that these people see something in you, around you, or that you have that is golden, that is priceless.
Don't you jealous me? That's that jealousy.
That they don't feel like they could get from anyone else they've ever met or encountered. They just don't do it the way you do it, baby.
I'm so special, so special, so special.
What they're trying to do is consciously manipulate your subconscious into doubt, fear, disbelief, anything that will drag you down to their level. And we don't want that. We're trying to glow up. We're trying to elevate. We're trying to literally become our best selves. So why continue to surround yourself with people who are trying to take you down from the inside out?
I'm not good enough. You have to score, right? Or this will all have been for nothing.
Anxiety, you're putting too much pressure on her.
This holding on to you, this attachment is quite literally scarcity mindset because they feel like, okay, if you have it, I need to be around you. I need to surround myself with you. And it's the complete opposite. The tighter they grab onto you, the further you're going to want to run away because no one likes to be controlled. But see, the thing is with hidden enemies, they know that. They're smart. A lot of times they know what they're doing. Even if they don't really know, they know that they probably don't actually like you. They like what you have to offer. They like your charisma. They like your smile. They like everything about you, except they don't actually like you. They don't actually want to show up for you on your hard days. They don't actually want to be around you for who you are because maybe you're just too expensive.
Girl, you are walking trophy. You are walking trophy.
By them trying to consciously manipulate your subconscious, they're literally proliferating this essence of scarcity mindset within them. And if you think there's no essence of lack within you, then you need to check yourself because, I mean, I have had my share of heartbreaks and mistakes. Listen, I've had my share to know that, like, whatever is going on inside is what is reflected outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it's a health thing, whether anything that it is, whatever is going on inside will be reflected on the outside. Even if you don't see it now, it might get exposed later. It might be a situation where it's like Cassie and Diddy and it gets exposed later, because to have courage is a brave thing. There are not too many courageous people that are going to go against the grain, that are going to stand in their difference. And I hope that you stand in your difference, because it makes a difference and it gives other people courage and confidence. But that's another video. And I'm going to keep flipping my hair because it's really giving. There's a reason that Santa gives the bad kids coal and not presents. Because if you were to give them presents, then that's people pleasing, and we're done with that. And that means everything. So I can't wait to watch you scare those hidden enemies away. Like, yes, send them back in. I want you to know this, that whatever isn't for you will eventually go. Because all things go. We were literally born to die. And as morbid as that sounds, it's the truth. And the more we accept that, the better the experience will be. Like, we're here to have the time of our lives. And then poof, gone with the wind, returning to the soil, to the dust. And you're gonna spend your time with people who don't really like you, with people who don't really have your back, with people who don't actually want to be there in your lowest moments and your highest moments.
And highly effective people are very good at not having anything ambivalent.
And what does ambivalent mean?
Okay.
It's a big word.
Yes, ambivalent means you're not sure if you love it or hate it. You could take it or leave it.
Do you know what leeches are? Do you know what leeches do? That's exactly what a hidden enemy is a leech. An energy vampire, the same thing, a leech. They are here to suck the energy out of you. If you are a confident, baddie, whatever it is, they want to be around you because the energy you ooze or the encouragement you give. But if they're not giving anything to you, they're not providing anything for you, why are they here? Do you look like a Christmas tree who needs extra ornaments? No. You're beautiful already. You're talented, you're kind, you're smart. Like, it's not Christmas time. Why are you carrying around these decorations? I don't understand. Like, you have everything that you need. Even if you're alone, you have you and God. And honestly, if you feel any way about that, you need to sit with yourself a little more. As I digress, let me flip the page. Knowing that what isn't for you will eventually fall away, you have to decide when these things will go. That is your decision. That's why we have free will. It is our decision what experience we want to have in this life. If we want to go out and party all the time, or if we want to be a nun, like, it is our experience. So we have to decide who is worthy to breathe our air and who needs to get up out of here. Knowing who you are is knowing what you stand for and what will tolerate. And this is what life is about. When you know, oh, I don't mess with this, or I don't deal with that, your life gets a whole lot easier, because that means more energy for you. I'm hype when I find out, oh, this person is a hater. It means more energy for me. Oh my gosh, I've been giving presents to someone who deserves coal. Like, no, because now you can actually give these presents to people who deserve the presents, to people who literally are like, oh my gosh, thank you. I feel so blessed. That's where we need to get to. Knowing who you are is knowing what you stand for and knowing what you will tolerate. So you have to decide when enough is enough. And if you let it get to that point where you literally have to decide at your wit's end and you're like, just make it stop, that's how you know that you've been fighting the lesson this whole time. You have to train yourself to get to the point where you can learn the lesson where it doesn't have to, like, physically ail you, where it doesn't have to physically pain you. Because when it has to physically pain you, that's how you know, you have a strong and mighty will, but at the same time, it is fighting back against you, because you're not picking up on the small details that are literally sent to you from God. He's like, hey, this is not your cup of tea, this is not your friend. And you're like, oh no, it's fine. Like, no. If you haven't watched my video on discernment, please go and watch it, because it is, I'm not even gonna say anymore. Go watch it. Thank you. Love you. Knowing what you stand for, knowing what you'll tolerate, that's what scares off hidden enemies, because they know they can't play with you. These hidden enemies literally think life is a game, and they're just trying to, like, scam their way through it all. But you know that life is not a game. That's why you're here with me. You know that life is not a game. Life is not to be played with. So knowing yourself is what can scare these hidden enemies, but it can also attract bullies. So as your discernment grows, make sure that you're working on that confidence. Make sure that you're working on being more assertive. But that's another video that we'll get into. Who are hidden enemies? Hidden enemies are typically friends, family, the people closest to you. That infamous quote that's like, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. They don't say that for no reason. Typically, the people closest to you they know the most. They have the most access. They have the VIP pass. So they have the ammo to hurt you. They're close to you for a reason. And honestly, because these people are so close to you, you may not notice the little things, the sly disrespect, the slick comment. You may not notice it. You may gloss over it and be like, oh, it was just a moment. But everything happens for a reason. You may think it's just a moment, but it only takes a moment for a mask to slip from someone's face. It only takes a moment for you to see someone's true colors. And when people show you who they are, you have no choice but to listen. If you don't listen, that's you being like, oh yeah, universe, show me, bring it on. I love lessons. I love it here. I love being a student. Like, we're always going to be learning our lessons, but we can determine the strength that we want to feel it. We can learn it the first time or keep repeating the same lesson over and over and over. And it's like, do you get it now? So I also want to stress that these hidden enemies, they're literally trying to create their dream life. And if you're in the way of that, it literally just means that they don't mind if you're caught in the crossfire. They don't mind if you're collateral damage. And I think you should care about that. The people that are in your life should care whether they affect you negatively, whether they bring upon you bad juju or make your life more messy or bring more problems. They should care. So if you've already probably identified like, maybe this person, keep that person in mind. And I'm not saying just start, being funny around them and but just take notice, because when you feel something, there's delusion and then there's our feelings. Like, this actually hurt. Why does it hurt? And if it's coming from someone that you love, is it out of a place of, okay, they're trying to help you, or do they actually may not have the best intentions for you? Because not everybody thinks like you. Not everybody has your heart. And that's the hardest lesson to hear, especially if you're a kind being. But it's the truth. And the closer that you can get to the truth, the closer that you can get to your truth and your highest self. And I love that for you, and I want that for you. These hidden enemies get so caught up in themselves that they literally can't see how it affects other people. So they lack that self-awareness. And if they do have that self-awareness, they're just wicked. That's what Jamaicans would say. Because if you know you're like hurting people and you're intentionally doing it, that karma that's coming to you, baby, I'm gonna leave it to you. Take your coal and get out of my face, because you deserve that coal. So what karma does is literally it gives them the treatment that they've given to other people, and it teaches them that you can't play with people, that life is not a game, and that God controls all. Source, God, the creator, whoever you pray to. And whether you see it or don't see it, the quicker that we understand this and learn this, we save ourselves from so much heartbreak, heartache, like just in general. What I want you to do is really ask yourself, why do you care so much, whether they like you or not? Because that's why they're around you, right? Why do you care so much? What about them do you love, do you admire? Because if there's people that are being brought up to your memory right now, like immediately, by clicking on this video and seeing this video, if there's people that's coming to mind, you have to ask yourself, why do you care so much that they like you or that they're in your life? Because the only persons that you need to like you in this lifetime is God, who made you, who loves you, who created you in his image, and yourself. And when you know that you and God are the only people that you need to like you, you are going to be saving yourself so much headache, heartache, just ache in general. Because God literally gives us physical pain when we are not listening to our emotions, especially as women, because that is our guideline as humans. It's what makes us human. So what's very important is that these hidden enemies may never actually reveal themselves. They may just get what they need from you and go, or it may end in a big blowout. We don't know, but as long as you know, that's all that matters. Once you know, grab your stuff and go. You could be plotting this exit for a month, for 2 months, but that's why they say knowledge is power. Once you know, that's enough. That's enough. You don't need to validate, oh, well, this person helped me with this, or this person. No. If they don't wish you good, if they don't have your best interest at heart, if they are not here to bring blessings into your life, you have to really ask yourself, why are you keeping people around just to keep them around? Like I said, are you a Christmas tree who needs some ornaments? No. So you need to ask yourself, why are they around if they're not doing anything for me? They will stay as long as you allow them to. They will spend your whole life with you. And when they get their opportunity to get what they get and go, they're going to take what they get and they're going to go. They're going to leave you in the dust because they care so much about themselves that they don't care if they pick up Cindy, Bethany, Ariana, whoever it is, to get to where they want to get to. But because you're not like that, you need to remove yourself from that energy. Because the longer you keep yourself sustaining around that energy, you're just attracting more of it. You're like, oh yeah, I like this. I really like this. Being half in and half out, we have to decide. And personally, to me, it doesn't matter how long a relationship is. It matters the quality and the willingness of that person. But moving forward, here are some tips on how to know if you have hidden enemies. Number one, you wouldn't be watching this video if it didn't resonate in some way. So you might already know you're Judas. Sorry. Number two, checking in with yourself. Recalling any names that come to mind just by looking at the title of this video, just by starting the video. There's a reason that you're here. You've either felt like you've probably dealt with somebody who didn't like you on the low, or there's probably someone in your life that you're like, oh my gosh, this person, I don't know, you're probably starting to connect some dots. And that's a great thing because you're developing your discernment. You could be wrong, but you also could be very right. So I need you to think about that because it only takes one situation for people to reveal themselves. One situation. And there's been plenty of situations where friends, so-called friends, went on vacation with friends and they didn't make it back home. So you need to ask yourself, how serious do you take yourself and your life? It's better to clean house than to keep people around who literally do not wish you well. Draw any names that immediately come to mind, and with those people, recall any moments that felt weird or off to you, like whether it's a comment that they made or something that they did that you wouldn't do or you wouldn't co-sign. Know that if they could do it to somebody else, they could do it to you. And I've seen it and thought, oh no, they wouldn't do it to me. They could do it to you 3 times worse.
People that vibrate the highest energetically don't do nice things for people that don't respect them.
So you're either going to take this with a grain of salt and move accordingly, or you're going to ignore it. It's just going to go over your head and you're like, oh, I'm fine. Until something happens and you're like, hold on, let me watch this video again. And you should. And give this video a like because I put so much energy and effort into it and I really wanted to find the people who need to see it. Something that you wouldn't do or co-sign. And this part is not about judging people. It's about creating the reality that you desire and knowing that you have to make changes. And when you make changes, people are going to be upset. But it is not your job to cater to their feelings. It's your job to be like, I'm ripping off the Band-Aid for myself because this is actually going to heal me. And this is actually going to align me with the people that want to love me, the people that deserve to have me in their life, the people that are so grateful for me. Because I'm telling you, there are some people that are just ready to meet you like you don't even know. But how could you know if you're surrounded by these hidden enemies and energy vampires? Number 3, even if it feels small when you're checking in and you're noticing these moments that where you feel like, oh, this was a little off, it doesn't matter how small it is. The devil is in the details. And there's a beautiful quote by Maya Angelou that always sticks with me above everything else. People will remember how you made them feel. I'll put it on the screen so you can see. This is so important because we're humans and we're meant to feel. And when you make us feel good, there's such a positive, just array of energy. If you make someone feel bad, oh, you're gonna remember them. You're never gonna want to be around them again. So pay attention to how you feel. The devil is in the details. And Judas was amongst Jesus' disciples. Jesus knew. He knew what was tea. Just like how I'm trying to tell you, he knew what was tea. And he said, okay. Even though he knew, he said, one of you guys will betray me. He knew, and I'm sure Judas was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah. He knew it was about to go down, but he also had that higher perspective of like, you're not stopping anybody. And that's what you need to have for yourself. That perspective of you're not stopping anything. What's meant for me is going to happen. And you got to go find that for yourself. This is an act of their character. You need to surround yourself with people who are a representation of your character and truly realize that most people live in ignorance, but the wise don't. The people that become successful and wealthy, that's how. It's because they take time to analyze who's around them and they make sure they don't tolerate no BS.
The reason why I became successful at a fairly young age is because I'm extremely picky with whom I spend my time with and how I spend my time. For instance, when I go to a movie and I don't like it, I just walk out.
So looking at your boundaries, asking yourself if any of these people in question have ever crossed the boundary, knowingly or unknowingly. How do these people make you feel? Do they make you feel seen and understood? Do they make you feel judged? Recall their actions. What do they do for you? Have they ever given you anything? Do they ask about your day? Are they the source of any problems in your life? Have they brought problems or drama into your life? These are the things that you need to ask yourself. Questioning ourselves and doubting our own thoughts and beliefs is one of the hardest skills to develop, but it can be done. This is from The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Flip, okay? So many people just take their perspective as just, this is right, this is true. But the more we can admit that we can be wrong and we can change and we can grow, this is where we actually glow up. This is where we actually start to see the benefits of the work that we're doing. Ask yourself what value this relationship has provided for you. And is this person a pleasure to be around? Do they carry the conversations? Do you carry the conversations? So by asking all of this and analyzing, you're able to determine the level of access that you would like to give this person in your life. Whether it's you want to continue on with this relationship, or you're like, actually, this is a leech and I don't want them to be around anymore. But either way, we need to know where we stand, because that is a part of knowing who we are. That is a part of our confidence, our courage. After analyzing and assessing your current life situation and the people that are playing the characters in your life, uphold strong boundaries. Listen to how people make you feel from now on moving forward, and trust that. The more you trust yourself, the more confident you'll be. It's all a whole cycle of things that just all are interconnected, but separate at the same time. Question things that don't make sense from a place of curiosity, compassion, and understanding. Like literally ask them in a moment that makes you go like, why would you say that? Like literally ask them like, I'm so curious, like why would you say that? I really thought, like really ask them, not out of reaction, out of responding. Or ask them when you're in a more calm state of mind. Do not react. Because the last thing I want to let y'all know is you do not want to stoop to their level of mistreatment. Do not come outside of yourself, because who you are is who they want to be. Who you are is who they want to be. So do not let yourself fall to their level of mistreatment or mistreat them back. When you realize this stuff, grab your stuff and go. Let them go, because that is your blessing. They can go learn their lesson with somebody else. That means you have learned your lesson, and that is so, so important. So continue to be yourself and work on yourself and grow and develop and just get in your God flow. That's all I want for you. I am so, so proud of you for sticking through. If you made it to the end of this video, give this video a thumbs up and let me know if you're ready for the next one.